The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is the Eagles Sports Network. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head softball coach Michael Graves as Carson-Newman unveils its 2023 campaign. Michael, a little bit different deal this year. Very tournament heavy for the month of February. Every weekend in February, you're either off or you're off to another venue or you're hosting a tournament. Break down the decision to kind of switch things up. Not a ton of double headers against single teams in the month. Actually, just one to speak of against Lees McRae, but a boatload of talented teams that you end up facing for the month of February.
Well, Coach Topple and I got together and we talked about scheduling and we'd been invited to a couple tournaments and stuff, so we figured it'd be a lot easier to pick up games, in nowadays time, and so we decided we'd go to Alabama and play in Alabama Huntsville's tournament. We're going to make a stop at Lander, which we've been doing the last couple of years. That's always a good tournament there. And we're going down to Georgia College and play a couple different teams down there than we normally face.
End up taking on 5 teams that made a regional a year ago. Mississippi College is new to the schedule. Delta State hasn't been on the schedule since 2000. Southern Indiana hasn't been on the schedule since 1996. You've not played Miles. You've not played West Al. What's the preparation going to be like going against some teams that you either haven't ever seen or you were a student, a student assistant back in the mid-'90s the last time Carson-Newman took on these teams?
Well, it's going to be a unique challenge for us and them both because we're not familiar with each other and stuff. So hopefully we can do enough research and get some info on them before we play. But it'll be fun.
Carson-Newman hasn't hosted a tournament since that impromptu deal with Indiana Wesleyan in Lees McRae back in the middle of the snowstorm. I think that was 2014. This one is actually planned. West Virginia State and King come in here for a little tri-match round-robin weekend. How exciting is it to welcome in some other teams and christen the new turf at the Vicky Kazee Hallfield softball complex with hopefully some high-quality softball?
Well, the most exciting thing is we don't have to do a lot of field maintenance in between games to get ready. We can kind of concentrate on the games and what we're trying to do there. But West Virginia and King both will be very talented. I think it'll be a great weekend for softball between the 3 teams.
It's kind of interesting, piecing this thing together because it feels like there's a lot of teams on the schedule, and honestly, probably yourselves included, that because of the truncated regional format from last year, the tournament going down to 6 teams from 8, that you have some schools, i.e. a Delta State, a West Al, Carson-Newman, that you're probably talking about a few more regional foes on the slate than what actually happened last year because of how it broke down. Just how do you expect this schedule to set your team up for success, one, for potential postseason play, but also for South Atlantic Conference play?
Well, it's something we looked at as trying to get a tougher non-conference schedule before we get into conference. And now that conference is starting so early in the season, you kind of almost have to look for the February slate. So, when you come back in January, you've only got 3.5 weeks to get going. So we better hit the ground running and hope we're ready to go.
Conference play, as you kind of alluded to, starts the first weekend in March. And 3 of your first 4 league series are on the road. Now you finish with 3 out of 4 at home. A team that returns a fair amount and brings in some veteran experience with your 3 young Harris transfers. How does the schedule provide challenges or benefit once you get into league play for the makeup of your team?
Well, like you said, we're starting on the road early in conference play, but I was looking at the schedule, yesterday. I was going over it, and I thought, man, our April schedule is really tough. I said, we got some big teams ahead in April, so if we can set ourselves up going into April and then be prepared and see what goes on there, then I think it'll set us up good for postseason play if we handle April.
All right, Michael Graves, thanks for the time. Good luck this year.
Thanks, Adam.
It's Carson-Newman head softball coach Michael Graves. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is the Eagles Sports Network.